Thanks, Hero. Because apparently, for some reason, I don't know what OBS did, but all of a sudden none of my sounds are connected appropriately. So yes, I was sitting here talking. And of course, no one could hear me. Go figure. Oh, Lord. Sometimes, it's like, what the fuck am I doing? But thank you for letting me know. I appreciate it. So I guess I'll start all over again. Only I remember what I said. Fortunately, you say those things and then you promptly forget whatever in the world it was you said. So, cool. It wasn't that insightful or anything. It was just a greeting. Hello, everybody. How are you doing? I'm here. I'm alive. Be entirely honest. I mean, I'm glad I'm alive, but I'm not exactly thrilled to be alive, which is nobody's fault. Nothing's particularly wrong. I just did not wake up well this morning. So I am tired and a little grouchy. Maybe a lot grouchy. And I'm trying... Loud? Hold on. Is it loud or am I so... For some reason, it's got me turned way down. Hold on. What the fuck was that? Some of the... I don't know what happened. So, I don't know if they did an update or something that I missed. And it just totally fucked all my settings. Oh, God. Sorry. That peaked out. Did not mean to do that to you. Alright, so that's better. I don't actually want that there. That's a response I have to type later. I didn't mean to go to notifications, I meant to go to bookmarks, and I actually didn't mean to do it on that tab. Pulling the couple things I have to talk about up. Hey, parrot heads. Yeah, sorry for suddenly killing anybody's ears. I am here to drive you mad. I'm not here to drive you deaf. Those are slightly different situations. Alright. Oh, I kind of wish I had that other story. There's one other story that I kind of wanted. What was it? Let's look up that. Should be on here. Excuse me. Oh, hell. I didn't know about that, but we're talking about that. That's interesting. That wasn't what I wanted, though. Hey, Matt. How you doing? I just want to find this thing. Oh God. I'm finding some things that I didn't mean to. I didn't actually want to find more stories. So I'm going to have to organize this a bit and then share everything else to the Offensive Charm podcast so we can talk about it there. I just want the one thing. No, not that. Not that. Not... What is that? Oh, okay. No. There it is. Found it. So. Put that there. And then I kind of want... I'm gonna lead with that. Want the one piece? Yeah, huh? Let's go with that. So just go on. I think we'll put that there. And leave that there. Move that up. And then move that there. Because I think those have to do with each other. No, those I don't actually have to do with each other. I don't think. I can never remember. Actually. Yeah, no, those do have to do with each other, I think. Yeah, okay. Alright, I've got everything in order, so... Let's do the thing where I do the one thing and then talk about stuff. First, I need to put that there. Then I need to put that there. Come back here. And I'm in the way again. Hold on. Nope, wrong way. There we go. No, it's never just one thing. It's always 10 things, and then there's another 10 things, and, you know. So, I don't know about the rest of y'all's cell phones, but, you know, obviously mine gets news to it and shit. And I don't ever really look at it, but every so often I'll accidentally swipe to the one side and it'll pull up the news stuff. And I just happened to catch this on the top of the news feed there. And I'm like, well, that could be interesting. So I went ahead and pulled it up to talk about. Carolyn, nobody asked you. And, oh, right, I was going to just bring it up. There we go. I need to find something better for switching between those. Actually, that would be a better idea. I'll have to figure that out later. Anyway, so, I mean, we had all those Xbox layoffs. Witch dog, yes, Carolyn was barking. And then there's Rudy, who was barking downstairs, but you probably couldn't hear him. And then there was Sheep, who was yelling at the dogs because today's his day off. But yeah, bunch of Xbox layoffs, blah, blah, blah. Id Software says worker-owned studios are the only path forward because, well, they were hit. I mean, you can always ask the dog. I cannot promise you what her response will be. But, I will ask any question you want me to ask my dog for $1. I'm kidding. Don't do that. Alright, so id Software producer Andrew Willis can only see one way through the Microsoft mess as the company begins executing its plan to bulldoze 3,200 jobs at Xbox studios owned by workers rather than executives who don't mind setting fire to, say, 3,200 jobs. Jesus Christ. Though to be fair, some of these people probably wouldn't mind setting fires to dogs either. Now, a thing I don't like about that statement is there's generally a reason they're getting rid of that many jobs, like the fact that they had 14 layers of redundancy or management, or whatever you want to call it, to talk to. And you can't just reassign those people places. There's a lot of people who just have to go. But damn. Okay. I can understand why he's feeling a little burnt about it. No, it's getting fired too. Willis mourned layoffs, which already impacted 136 of id Software's total. Fuck off, I don't want to sign up. Anyway, total 185 staff members. Jesus Christ. That means they had 49 people left when it was all said and done. Wow. Calling the layoffs in a LinkedIn post earlier this week, calling the layoffs an incomprehensible decision, and remarking that the game industry is being run by people who do not fundamentally understand anything about it, not even how it generates value or profit. He's not wrong. But I will say it is a lot easier to generate profit if you're not paying a whole bunch of people you don't need. So there's that. He's decided in a new post, then, that the only way to fix the game industry at this point is for developer-owned studios to start rising from these studios' closures and layoffs. Yes, that's how the cycle works. I'm glad he understands how that doesn't understand it. At least he sees what's happening. And it's funny because, yeah, people will say that the game industry is going to crash. The game industry is actually going to be fine. What's going to crash is the large, overly cumbersome studios that, yeah, they probably make a lot of things that you loved in the past. But let's face it, what was the last thing they made that you really, truly loved? And they're going to crash. That's not going to kill the game industry. It's not. There's still, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of fucking developers out there who do not work for these major industries, these major companies, that will continue to provide you games that you can buy. The consumer will be just fine. We will still have plenty of stuff to buy. You're just probably going to have to wait until somebody buys that IP you love so much, and hopefully they do it justice. That's the hard part, is when this happens, there's going to be a lot of IPs that come up for sale. Maybe some will go back to the original owners, some will be bought out, some with honest intentions, some by people who just want to make money. It's the circle of life, literally. You get too big, you think you're going to be everything forever, and then you crash and die. And it's just how it works. The fact that some people seem to think that things should go on forever, I've said before that that's a major problem, that things shouldn't have a conclusion. And I mean that across everything. Movies, books, TV shows, everything has a conclusion eventually. And the more you draw it out, the worse it tends to be at the very end, except for life. Life, you can live pretty good up until the moment you're taken out, but I don't recommend trying to get out of it early. It's not a good idea. You never know what you're going to miss. Companies, on the other hand, should probably either do what they need to do to keep themselves viable or be willing to crash and burn, because that's how that goes. Doom Studio id Software, of course, was originally created by Doom's developers in 1991, but Willis also seems in favor of true worker cooperatives, where all of a business's employees double as owners who can guide direction. I mean, if you have a bunch of intelligent workers, that's fine. If you have a bunch of idiots, there are plenty of artists out there who don't understand business. And when you don't understand business, you have a tendency to make decisions that hurt you, that hurt your business. And then you sit there and think, but I owned this and I put all this work in. Why aren't I getting paid? And it's because you don't understand what you're doing. Sometimes some people in this world need to work for others, not because they don't deserve whatever, but because they're just not bright enough to actually do one part of the job. I get everybody wants to think everybody's equal. Everybody's as smart as they are. Unfortunately, that's not true. It's not. It's just how life works. We are not equal. We are all individuals. We all have our strengths and our weaknesses. And when you try to push somebody into a situation where they don't belong because you think that it's their right to be there, all you do is make their life worse. You make your life worse 9 times out of 10 too. It doesn't work unless you have a very specific, very small group of people who can all do it. You just can't do it on a large scale. A co-op is not impervious to problems. Worker-owned Dead Cells developer Motion Twin had a public falling out with the game's lead dev after a disagreement in 2024, for example. But I think many people would prefer interpersonal drama to receiving an email from a CEO you've never met informing you that something like 3,531,840 more people in your field have just been laid off. Honestly, I don't care either way. They both lead to the same situation. Whether you're fighting with somebody personally or are impersonally laid off, it's the same result. You're out of a job. Except in this case, it's entirely possible the entire studio is now out of business, whereas there might be another 2,581,644 people who get to keep their jobs, while the other ones can go off and do their own thing. Being laid off, losing your job is not the end of the world in most cases. I mean, it sucks. I'm not going to lie. It sucks. But you can always go find another job. And it feels weird sometimes that people think that once you hire someone, you just have to keep them forever, no matter what's going on. That there should be no actual trying to improve the corporate environment. But then again, these are a bunch of people who I'm pretty sure who have never actually owned or ran a business. So they don't understand how sometimes it's a thing you got to do. When you're in a larger studio environment, when you're in a larger business environment in general, there is always a level of impersonalization. Oops, I tapped my keyboard. Can't even blame my cat on that one. And there are times and places in this world that it is okay to be impersonal. The internet has given everybody a feeling like we're all way more connected than we are. There's this thing called Dunbar's number where humans are really only capable of actually caring about approximately 150 people. Like, yeah, you can feel bad for someone you've never seen or heard of, but to genuinely care, you have an upper limit capacity. I mean, I'm sure there's some people who have more and some people who have less, but you do have a limited capacity of genuinely caring for a number of people. And that's just because we're human. We are limited creatures. We can extend an amount of empathy towards others, but there's a limit. There is. And that's okay to have a limit on that because, again, you are but one person. You can't fix everybody's life. And at some point, your personal survival has to take precedence. Unfortunately, there are people out there who seem to think that by... Funny thing is so they think that they're being the kind, generous person by giving up certain freedoms and rights so that other people can enjoy in the prosperity. But the thing is they never actually want to give up theirs. They want to give up everybody else's. And so they can enjoy it with the people who are also benefiting. It's a certain type of political ideology that really doesn't work because it actually strips all the potential benefits of people working for their own benefit. despite what some people think, selfishness does have a way of actually benefiting everybody as opposed to just the person practicing it. If you are selfishly creating a product that other people can use so that you can rake in the money, people who give you their money aren't necessarily just losing out. They get the product in return. And if they think that product will better their lives, that's a positive for them. So that person being selfish has none gone and helped everybody else. That's why capitalism is the greatest system. It monetizes selfishness and the ability to help others and be rewarded. And of course, there's always people who do it poorly, who manipulate others, cause problems. Human condition, once again, there are always bad apples in the mix. But at least under capitalism, when the bad apple's in the mix, you don't end up with them then leading everybody, making everybody else face the wall, and removing them from society in general because they don't fit the mold you want everybody else to fit into. That would be communism. But, so Willis also helped lead id Software's unionization efforts in 2025, which is terrible. We've got to learn from the past, be fiscally responsible, and create an environment of sustainable growth. Though growth should be a byproduct of success, not a goal in and of itself. What? All right, whatever. The only path forward I can see, he reiterates, these large publishers and monopolies. What monopolies? I don't remember. Have proven themselves terrible stewards and somehow even worse financial managers. Well, here's the problem. You're looking at them as stewards. They're not. They're businesses. But they are bad financial managers. You're not wrong about that. To his point, although Microsoft Gaming has already limited 2,500 jobs in 2024, and Microsoft killed about 1,500 more jobs, or 15,000 more jobs in 2025, Xbox began 2026 with its overall revenue 9% down in a hole. Yeah, that's because of the hole they dug. You can only undig yourself so far. Really? Samuel? And now there's a cat. Knocked my phone down. Once upon a time, my great-grandmother would be very, very, very disappointed in me. But she lived in a time where unions were actually necessary, where people needed to be given their rights back. And there are times and situations where unions are a positive thing. I'm not sure that they belong in gaming. Because like I said, game devs have a very specific role. Oh, God. The cat wants to share his opinion, too. Right now, his opinion is standing on the very back of my chair. I won't lie, he looks cute up there, but it is what that is, so. Anyway. On one hand, I don't disagree with Mr. Willis here. On the other hand, I don't think that the pets don't like the unions. Well, my pets are pretty smart. What can I say? I agree with Mr. Willis that the way forward is definitely smaller companies, more agile companies, companies who can make better decisions, not overhire people, actually focus and communicate on a better level than these large behemoth companies. But on the other hand, I'm pretty sure we have much different ideas of how that looks like. To me, it doesn't look like a guaranteed job once you get hired. To me, it looks like, you know, continuing to test yourself, continuing to get better, making sure you're working for the good of the company and yourself, and potentially being fired if you are found to be wanting. If you are not the best fit, you should be removed. But I'm really into meritocracy. Hello, cat. Oh my god. Ow! Yes, Sam. All right. But that was about what I thought that article would be, so I'm not particularly surprised about anything there. Let's go ahead and pop into the next one here. So I do have a Steam machine, and my husband was kind enough to make an unboxing video, which I will share eventually. I will share it and my Steam controllers unboxing video, as well as my thoughts on both. Both are pretty cool, but I don't want to get too much into it. Hey! Watch your little paws. And try not to step on the soundboard. Do I have it turned all the way down? I don't. Sorry about that. I don't think you guys actually heard it, though. No, you would have. Cat stepped on the soundboard. Y'all just leveled up, or won the battle. Congrats. I'm pretty sure that was the level up sound. Well, I got a... Oh, did I say Steam Jet? I meant Steam Machine. I got the Steam Machine. It is now sitting in the office. Or in the office. I'm in the office. It's sitting in the bedroom, waiting for myself and the husband to actually have time to really play with it. I played with it a little bit, but we'll, like I said, we'll talk about that once I get the videos and stuff out there. Or edited for use, I guess is how I want to put that. Anyway. Christ. So, the reason Valve remains winning despite the crazy cost of the Steam machine is stuff like this. Valve has replaced the customer's stolen Steam machine after the device disappeared just hours after it was delivered. The customer said the package was left outside their home while they were at work, and by the time they got back, it was gone. They contacted Steam support, and Valve agreed to send them a replacement instead of leaving him without the console. Now I wonder how that works in terms of how limited the supply is. I mean, this is a really small supply. But I mean, to me, that sounds like someone's going to have to wait a little longer on theirs. But you pair this with the one about the guy whose controller got fucked up. The dev the other week, where instead of just saying no before Next Fest, they actually went in and fixed the problem so that they could release for Next Fest. Valve has a value that the other PC platforms don't, which is why they have such a large market share. They don't have such a large market share because we're trapped in it. I have GOG on my computer. I love GOG because of the the DRM-free games. It's fantastic. You know, I can put them on something and play them later because I don't need an internet connection of any kind to connect to them. Now, there are plenty of Steam games that are like that too. There is no actual required DRM on Steam. If there's DRM in the game, it's because the developer opted into it, not because of anything Steam did. The downside is GOG really doesn't have as a robust system, I guess is the way to put it, that Steam does. The reason to really support them is they're trying to my god, I lost the words. The real reason to support them is that the non-DRM games and the fact that they do have their preservation project where they're bringing back old games that never really ran on current day software, giving them updates, giving them new life, and making it possible for people to play classics. Hey. Sam, you did that to yourself. Why are you growling at the dogs? Such a headache. But yes, Steam remains undefeated on that one. But speaking of DRM, I don't know how many of you guys have paid attention to The Blood of the Dawnwalker. The specs on it are kinda... But on the plus side, they're saying that they're not going to be using de novo on PC. Now, I don't know if that means that they're going to go with a different... what's the word? A different DRM. But on the plus side is that they won't at least be using de novo, which does have a tendency, despite what they claim, to affect performance. The studio also revealed that the game will include secret quests that aren't marked on the map, which to reward players who take the time to explore. And the one thing you shouldn't expect, however, is minigames. Rebel Wolves said there won't be activities like fishing or card games, as the team chose to focus on the story, which is fine. I mean, I do enjoy a good minigame, but I don't believe they're necessary. I know a lot of people don't like the card games, for example. I always enjoy fishing in a game, just because it's fishing. I like fishing. But I have never been into the card games. I hated that stupid card game in Final Fantasy 14. Or, well, it's in a few games other than just 14, but never could get into them. I know a lot of people who really like them, but, yeah, no, not my thing. But the fact that they're going at least de novo free makes me wonder, or I can appreciate that. I'm kind of interested in this game. I don't know that I'll be really into getting it. I will probably wait to get it because after I finish Neo 3, I am going to go play not Kingdom Hearts. That's my husband. My husband plays Kingdom Hearts. I'm going to go play Shadow Hearts. Was it a PS2 game? I think it was a PS2 game. It might have been a PS1 game. No, it was a PS2 game that I loved from my childhood. So, and I'm almost to the end of Neo 3. And for those who haven't played Neo 3, I'm enjoying it. It's Souls-like. It'll probably be easier for everybody but me. But, you know, I still find it fun. So that's what really matters in the end, right? Which one of these am I on? This one is next. So with Pal World out, I'm having fun with Pal World. I have my own This is something that I never saw actually happening. So I have my own solo game. I have a game I started with 2 of my friends that we're going to be playing on Saturdays. It's just a peer-to-peer. It's not like I started a server or anything. And then I have a 3rd server that I'm playing on, and I'm currently working on building that up. Did not ever anticipate actually doing 3 Pal World servers after the 1.0 release, after I played it for a little while, back in early access with Sheet. Now, Sheep loves Palworld. He already has over 3,000 hours into it over the period that over the period of early access. He got all of the achievements before it left early access. Now he's got to finish the achievements they added after early access. You know, did all the side content, everything. And it's a fun game for when I'm, you know, feeling like I just want to kind of, you know, what's the word? Veg? Like, I'm not looking to... I don't want something, like, intense, like freaking Neo 3, where I have to constantly dodge and dip and dive and dodge. Though, to be fair, there is some dodging in Palworld. I just suck at it. Honestly, I wonder if I would be better at the combat in Palworld when I use if I used my controller. But I mostly play mouse and keyboard, which is my general preference. As long as the game handles mouse and keyboard well. But the point is, Palworld is very accepting of mods. They came out with a statement when they went 1.0 that a lot of things were changing, so make sure you uninstalled your mods, updated, and then reinstalled slowly so that you can make sure everything works, and that they're planning to continue supporting mods going forward. You really can do just about anything you want with the game. One of the major criticisms people have for Palworld is the fact that they use body type 1 and type 2 versus male and female. Which, I'm going to be honest, of the things that bother me in this world, it's really far down the list. It's going to be one of those things that doesn't stop me from buying a game, but if there's a bunch of other stuff wrong with the game, I might have a problem with it, but it's not that big of a deal to me. However, because they're so open to mods, if it's something that bothers you, you can just go ahead and mod it right out. They're fine with it. They don't care if you mod it out. However, Nexus mods apparently took exception to the way somebody labeled their mod. Now, I will say they didn't actually take the mod off, which is a little surprising in my opinion. But Nexus mods edited the mod's description because they felt one sentence broke the rules. The original description said the labels were changed to female and male, as it should be. And the moderator said that wording could be seen as saying only those genders labels are correct, which they consider inflammatory under the site's terms of service. Which I do kind of see the point. That is a wording that does look kind of to start a fight. And obviously they're not wrong. Male and female are the fact of the world. But that also assumes that the intent is to limit people to just male or female in the game. Now, because of the way the game works, you can combine male faces with female bodies. I don't know why you'd want to, but you can. There really are no specifically gender-locked choices, so I could understand where the type 1 and type 2 versus male or female come in. But let's face it, the one body is very obviously female, and the other body is very obviously male. So that's one of those little things that really, it doesn't bother me because I don't think it's that deep. I don't think that Palworld's trying to make any kind of particular political statement. So I don't care. I don't. But when you poke a bear, you gotta expect to get a little backlash. So the fact that they didn't remove the mod in and of itself is surprising. They just said that they're going to edit out the section. That's it. Here we have High Celestial Flea, which is the name of the mod creator. I've edited your mod due to an issue with the description. This mod simply renames the character creation body type selector from type 1 to type 2 to male and female as it should be, with gender symbols. As of 1.1.0, the mod now changes the presets to read male, female, but if you have any custom presets, it may conflict with it. Voices are also changed to read male and female, which is weird because I don't really think the voices are specifically male or female, but whatever. Japanese language support has also been added for the mod. The mod is fully working as of Palworld 1.0. You may need to re-enable it in the mod menu. Making a cosmetic change to how terms are defined in games is your choice, and we're not taking your mod down. Implying that anything outside your gender view is wrong, i.e. male and female as it should be, would be considered a violation of our terms of service. I have removed this from your mod description. I mean, honestly, I don't have a problem with them doing that. They don't really want people fighting. I mean, don't get me wrong. Nexus mods has a lot of problems. I don't use them anymore. Of course, I don't mod a whole lot either, so there's that. But I have a tendency to stay away from them when I do choose to mod, which is basically not at all anymore. But at the same time, you're running a website, you don't really want to have to deal with a bunch of people arguing over these things. Some things are meant to be focused, not everything is an open place to talk. It's the way of life. If you own an area, it's like you can't come into my house and start talking communist bullshit and expect to get to stay in my house. Websites aren't public property. They're not public forums. They are places that get to have rules and get to decide who says what. Now, the nice thing about a website is that you don't have to go to it if you disagree with it. You can just totally ignore them. And that's actually better than trying to force them to talk your way, because then you can starve them out and let them suffer. But I'm just mean like that, I guess. I need a water break. 1 second, guys. So moving on, we have some news about Tides of Annihilation. That's the Arthurian kind of game that's supposed to be coming out. I'll be entirely honest, it doesn't look... I mean, the one battle they've shown us so far is trying to look epic, but it really looks very MMO to me. And maybe that's the problem, is that I have played MMO raids and everything, and so it's got this giant grand scale, and it's like I've seen that before. I've seen the hitbox indicators and all that stuff. I've played the games where they do this stuff, and it just doesn't look like all that much to me. It's so true, Hero. So true. So now, the one thing, other than the fact I don't think the combat's all that flashy, that bothered me was the voice for the main character. There's a scene where they're talking, and I'll be entirely honest, her voice acting does not seem to match her actions. And maybe I should pull it up to show you what I mean. Let me open a screen here real quick. Not that screen. That'll work. And go to YouTube. Annihilation trailer. Let me get to the point I want, because there's no reason in watching all this stuff. Oh no, that's not talking here? No, that's just movement. It's in this one. Oh, well, that was a weird announcement trailer. Is it as bad as the old dubs? Probably not. I'm just a fussy little bitch. Here's a gameplay reveal. I want the one where... Ah, here we are. It's right here. So let me get this pulled up. Screen that. Get out of the way real quick. Oh. Hopefully the sound works. We'll find out in a second. So here we go. Damn it! That was stupid. Of course the video's not working. Why would the video work? That would make sense. Want the sound to work. Let's see here. See if that'll fix it. I think if I do that, then I need to close it, open it, come back. Try now. No, still. Why the fuck? Every time I try to do this, it fucks up. Maybe if I... Why does this just not want to work? Why? Nope. Still not working. Okay. Let's try this. On that anyway. Last time. So let's do... Oh no. Back here. Let's do... We'll close that. Go here. We'll open that. Tell this to go here. In which case I might as well just go back. Oh, wrong way. There we go. Let's try... Oh, hold on. Try that. Why? Why is this not working? The fuck? Why the fuck can
I not get it to do the sound? Oh my, I had it fixed last time. Why? Just why? I just wanted to do the sound. It's not that hard. The audio. Hold on, give me just 1 second. I wanna. Thanks, Parrothead. You're totally not making me feel like it's my fault somehow. Let's try. Well, let me. Nope, none of those are possible options. So, where did I put that? So, if I delete that, okay. Now, how about if I just do this? Let's see if maybe that does it. That just in case. Back it up a little because I want you guys to hear the voice. No, still not. Holy shit. All right, well, you're not going to be able to hear the voice. I tried. I tried very hard, but apparently it's just not going to let me. So, I don't get it. I fixed it last time because I tried to play that video last time. And I don't know. I don't know what's wrong there. I might have to find some other way to feed website sound to fucking OBS. I don't know. I do not know. I'm going to have to figure out what's going on there. I think it's because they moved the audio output beta into being what catches the sound, but it's so goddamn weird. It used to just work fine. Uh-oh. Turn the background music off. Let's turn that back on. There we go. Let's go ahead and get rid of this that I don't need. That, because I don't need that either. Anyway, so I don't think her voice is very good. You know what, I don't think I closed that. Here is the trailer. If you want to check it out yourself. Blame your editor. Unfortunately, I am the editor. If I could afford an editor, that'd be great, but someday maybe. Editing's the whole reason I stopped doing videos. I fucking do not like editing. But anyway, so there's the link for the trailer. The voice is at about 5 minutes 40 seconds in. If you want to listen to it for yourselves, I just don't think it matches. Like, I think the voice sounds way more laid back than the actual actions of the character. Like, the physicality the character's portraying. Stop! So, I did not marry I am the editor. He does it. He's the artist. He draws the things. I edit. I wish he edited. But no. It's just me. I would not ask him to edit. That takes way too much time. Holy shit. As it is, I feel bad when I ask him to draw shit for me. But anyway, back to the topic. So the reason we're on this is the fact that Tides of Annihilation has some news to share. The voice of the character Gwendolyn is Jennifer English. And they say that Jennifer English will be stepping away from her role as the English voice of Gwendolyn, the main protagonist in Tides of Annihilation, due to personal health reasons. She will continue to support the project in an advisory role. Hi, Silver. Unfortunately, I didn't call for one. I can't afford to pay for one. I would love someone to edit my shit for me. But I can't pay anybody right now. But whether I called for an editor or not, I'm happy to see you. Earlier in June, Jennifer informed us that she would no longer be able to continue the role. While we were, of course, saddened by her decision, we completely understood and respected Jennifer in prioritizing her well-being. We are also deeply grateful for the care responsibility she showed throughout this process. During this transition, Jennifer remained incredibly supportive and, together with other members of our voice cast, helped us identify and connect with talented performers who could carry Gwendolyn forward while staying true to the character. With Jennifer's support and recommendation, together with the recommendations from other members of our voice cast, we've been fortunate to find an incredibly talented performer to carry Gwendolyn forward. Her recent voice work in video games left a strong impression on both Jennifer and our team, not only for the performance itself, but for the remarkable care and dedication she showed in understanding the character, and we're excited for players to experience her interpretation of Gwendolyn. She's currently recording Gwendolyn's English performance for our upcoming Gamescom 2026 hands-on demo. Players will hear her performance for the first time in the demo this August, as well as in select official updates shared across our channels during the same period. We also like to thank Jennifer for everything she's brought to the character and to the project. Her performance brought depth, strength, vulnerability, and heart to the role. We have truly enjoyed this journey together and wish Jennifer all the best, and most importantly, good health and happiness in whatever comes next. To our players, thank you for your continued support and understanding. We're truly grateful to have you on this journey with us. So, I mean, the VA world is so nepotistic. I get going to the professionals for recommendations, but I have to wonder if they ever look outside of the little box to find, new and interesting people. Probably not. It's just kind of disappointing the way that works. Hey, Patrick, how you doing? But yeah, so Jennifer English will no longer be the voice of Gwendolyn in Tides of Annihilation. Many people will say that that means it has no chance at Game of the Year, which personally I don't know that it ever did. I think it looks like all flash and no substance. I don't know that it's actually going to be good. But we'll see when it comes out. Yes, nepotistic and unionized. That would be correct, Silver. Yeah, we're talking about Miss Jennifer English, the former voice of Gwendolyn. I did like her role as Mayel. I did not like her role as that stupid ex-voto character. Oh my god. That game, it gave me a migraine, literally. Mad that the game is being delayed because of her stepping down, but do find it funny she went on that whole tirade about acceptance and her joy. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that has anything to do with it. I kind of don't care. And I don't know that the game is being delayed. They haven't said it's being delayed. They're putting out a demo in August. They didn't say anything about a delay in here. She's apparently recording the voice lines right now and will be in the demo this August. So it sounds like they're still on schedule despite the fact that they have to redo the lines. I wonder how much Jennifer even had done. Like if she was actually totally done. That's funny. But I pay. I am not a drama person. I don't care who she's sleeping with. I don't care who she broke up with. It would be kind of, I mean, I would find it hugely unprofessional if she left the game just because her ex-girlfriend is one of the voices, but at the same time, you know, I don't know. It's just a thing. Alright, but sorry for the newcomers. I'm glad you guys stopped by, but it is time to wrap up. My hour is up and I've got a job to go to. So that's always the fun part. Of life, you know, go earn the money to feed the cats and the dogs and everything else. Life works out that way sometimes. We will be back tomorrow, same time-ish, right about 11 o'clock Mountain Time, 1 p.m. Eastern. So if you want to stop back and do this again, I've got a couple stories in here I need to bookmark so that I can talk about them tomorrow. Well, I don't really want to talk about that one now. That one sucks. And maybe not that one. But I like the one story. We're going to talk about that one tomorrow. So be sure to come back. We'll hang out some more. We'll talk, we'll chat, we'll laugh, we'll cry, I'll yell at animals. That kind of good shit. But y'all have a good day, good evening, good afternoon, good night. You know, that fun shit. Y'all take care. And I'll catch you later.